Of all the girls in Monogatari, one would most expect Araragi to end up with Hanekawa. I mean, Senjo immediately assaults him, Shinobu/Kissdrop straight up kills him, Kanbaru is supposedly a lesbian, and him ending up with Nadeko, Hachikuchi, or Yotsugi is hopefully illegal in every Japanese prefecture. In contrast, Hanekawa almost gives up her life for him, is the first one he looks to given signs of trouble, and out of all the other girls, her, let's say, personality seems to appeal to him the most. So why choose the still lovable Senjo Gohara over her? Well, simply put, Hanekawa is a monster. Oshino says as such in Neko Monogatari Kuro, going as far as calling her disgusting, in contrast to her usually perceived angelic nature. But the word I want to emphasize here is perceived. In the last Kizumonogatari film, Araragi says that his feelings for her had transcended love and that he sees her instead as a savior. But as Oshino likes to say, you can only ever really save yourself, something that Hanekawa fails to realize until it's too late. Her own saying, "I don't know everything, I just know what I know," oozes humility, but very rarely does she exercise that trait in the show. One of the big conflicts that happens in Nisei comes about directly through her own hubris. Just as Icarus gets too caught up in the thrill of flying to notice the sun melting his wings in Greek mythology, Hanekawa gets caught up in maintaining her unflappable image. Of course, since no one is actually perfect, this backfires on her spectacularly. Instead of accepting all the different parts of herself, she tries to shove them down deep inside, which only leads to them exploding out uncontrollably. There's a Japanese saying, neko o kaburu, which literally translates as to put a cat on one's head. It refers to putting up a front, to feign sweetness or docility. The animal that Black Hanekawa takes after is no coincidence and is anything but sweet or docile. But I want to be clear that it's not the oddity that's the problem. It's that Hanekawa does everything in her power to avoid conflict. For example, take a look at her home situation. When Araragi finds himself in her house for the first time, he immediately wants nothing to do with it and speeds off as fast as he can. You see, she hasn't had a room to herself since they moved in 15 years ago. Conflict is necessary in life, both to progress relationships and ourselves as people. But this doesn't fit Hanekawa's image, so she immediately acquiesces to, well, anything, while resentment and regret slowly bubble within. I'm not going to be like Oshino and defend her family's actions, but imagine how unsettling it must be to live with someone who refuses to stand up for themselves and fight back. Araragi can't wrestle with both his messiah complex and the fact that, at this point, Hanekawa isn't someone that he can save, nor does she want to be. This isn't to say that she doesn't change throughout the course of the series. Eventually, she realizes that she must accept the different parts of herself, and that it's okay to rely on people who care about you. This reflects itself physically through her hair, something that serves as a reminder to her towards the end of the series. But tragically, this self-actualization comes too late. Araragi's perception of her has already shifted, and someone's already swooped in and seized the opportunity. Hanekawa's story is an important notice to be true to your feelings. No one is unflappable, and trying to be as such is only denying normal human emotion and inviting unrealistic expectations that you'll eventually fail to live up to in the end. Hanekawa internalizes this at the end of Tsubasa Tiger. Accused of continuing her destructive way, she rejects that and says, "I decide to end things like this. I'm sure that I will end up hating someone. I won't be kind to everyone like before and won't be able to love everyone. People are sure to dislike and hate me. I'll probably end up a bit angrier and unable to forgive. I might become stupid. I might not be able to laugh. I might sob and cry. But that's okay. That's alright. I don't want to be real. I want to be human. I don't have to be beautiful. I don't have to be white. I want to be impure of you guys." Araragi comes by shortly after, but ultimately Hanekawa is the one to climb out of the massive hole she digs for herself. After all, you can only really save yourself. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And of course, if anything I said was wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know everything. I just know what I know.